Good day, Internet. This is DTNS Live for Friday, March 7th, 2025. From Studio Animal House, I'm Sarah Lane.
At Studio 7 in Los Angeles, I'm Tom Merritt.
From Columbus, Ohio, I'm Robb Dunewood.
Drawing the top tech stories from Cleveland, Ohio, I am Len Peralta.
And I'm the show's producer, Roger Chang.
You are the person who makes Daily Tech News Show Live possible by listening to it, viewing it, supporting it, possibly being Paul Thiessen, Ali Sanjabi, AB Puppy, or one of our two brand new patrons, Tim and Charlie. Hey! Tim, Charlie, Tim, Charlie, Tim.
Tim and Charlie, Tim and Charlie, Tim and Charlie. Thank you to everybody who supports us, and thank you so much to our new patrons. So good to have you along, and welcome everyone to DTNS Live. This is the show where we discuss the tech news to help us all understand it a little bit better. How is everybody doing on this fine Friday? Len Peralta, how the heck are you?
Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm repping the Cavs today.
Yeah.
Because they're the first team in the NBA to lock a playoff position.
Clincher.
And,
nicely done.
They're amazing to watch. I've been watching them, so if you haven't been paying attention, pay attention now. So yeah, very cool.
In the great state of Ohio, Robb Dunewood, I know you said it was snowing yesterday, so how are we all doing today?
It got to the 40s today, so the weather's doing fine. But I'm with Len. I am very pro Cavaliers right now.
Yes. How can you not be? It's so great.
You're
Did
married
you watch
to a
the
Lakers
Warriors
fan?
Nets game
Yeah, I guess.
last
Yeah,
night?
right. No, I get you. I get you.
Good stuff.
You're not allowed to be if you want to stay home.
Well, we are here to talk about tech news, so why not get into it with the quick hits?
Brazil has ordered Apple to allow app sideloading, allow third-party apps to be run on the iOS platform within the next 90 days. Judge Pablo Zuniga noted Apple's compliance elsewhere hasn't harmed its business. So what's it waiting for? Apple has been appealing this following a late 2024 ruling saying it needed more time to investigate and talk about it and appeal. And this judge was like, you did it in the EU, do it here. So Apple is required to attend a public hearing in Brazil.
U.S. President Donald Trump signed an order creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve using government-owned crypto, mainly from asset seizures. Markets reacted with disappointment as no new purchases were announced, briefly dropping Bitcoin 5% to 85,000 before recovering to 89,200 earlier in the day. The order leaves open the possibility of future government crypto buys, but gives no timeline or details.
So they just put all the coin they had in one place.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Somebody had a chuckle there. United Airlines is the first major U.S. airline to adopt Starlink for in-flight Wi-Fi, starting with 300 regional planes this year. The deal eventually is meant to equip United's full fleet of 1,000 planes plus. The faster connection would be free only for Mileage Plus members, which I am. Yay, cool for me if I ever flew again. United called Starlink innovative and revolutionary.
I mean, basically anybody could be a Mileage Plus member. You just sign up. Delta does the same thing.
Yeah, it's easy to become one.
Not bad. So I saw somebody was saying, like, what if I just sneak on board any plane with a Starlink node and just share it out? Could I sell it to other people? I'm like, that'd be interesting to see.
Try it and report back.
Yeah, let us know. Mistral has launched Mistral OCR, a high-speed optical character recognition tool that processes images and PDFs at up to 2,000 pages per minute. It can handle text, tables, media, and equations, and supports multiple languages. A self-hosting option is available for organizations with strict data compliance needs. Tools available through Mistral's developer platform and costs $1 per 1,000 pages. Though you can try it out in the chat too, apparently.
The Wall Street Journal reports that the White House is considering restricting DeepSeek, including banning its chatbot from government devices due to national security concerns related to China. U.S. officials are worried that DeepSeek's handling of user data, which is stored on servers in China, and believe that the company hasn't adequately explained its data usage and access policies.
McDonald's, yes, that McDonald's, says it's upgrading technology in its 43,000 restaurants with internet-connected kitchen equipment, AI-powered drive-thrus, and management tools. CIO Brian Rice says the goal is to reduce employee stress in high-pressure customer service and delivery environments. Meta's Threads says it's testing a feature, well, it is, but it told us it was, testing a feature that lets users add interests to their own profiles. So if I say, I like tech, I like basketball, I like cats, I like food, that sort of thing, helps me as a user find and then join relevant discussions that might already be going on with people that are like-minded to me. This aims to improve discovery and engagement, especially for newcomers. The feature is currently mobile only, so you're not going to be able to use it on Threads on the desktop, but it does complement Threads' custom feeds and bring it a bit closer to what Blue Sky already offers. Meta confirmed the test, says it plans to share more details about it soon. Rob, I know you've been kind of all in on Threads lately. Does this feel like something that is helpful to you, or at least helpful for people who might discover you in the future?
I went through a range of emotions when I heard this story, because the first thought was, of course, Meta is doing this. They just want to categorize me more so they can serve me more ads. But then I thought they probably already have me pretty well categorized and have known for years exactly how to send ads to me. So this actually might be what they say it is, to just allow the users to give themselves a better experience. So I can absolutely see using this, because on Threads, I don't talk about everything on Threads. I talk about a lot, but I don't, but there's like 3-4 different buckets of things that I regularly go to talk about on Threads, and also things that I'm looking to talk to other people about on Threads. So if I could narrow down, I want stuff from this category or that category as compared to just getting it from everything, that would make it a little easier on me, if this all works. So I am eagerly anticipating trying this out just to see what it's like. Like I said, but my initial reaction was, oh, you just want to target me better. But after thinking about it, I do believe that they know how to target me to send ads to me. This will allow me to get to the information I'm trying to get to maybe a little bit more effectively.
I think it's an interesting example of competition at work, because this is a similar thing, like you said, Sarah, to what Blue Sky has. And Threads is trying to figure out ways to keep people enjoying their platform. So to me, it's not so much whether I'll use it or not. I'm not sure if I will, honestly. But it is good to see them going, oh, we need to have feature parity. If people seem to enjoy this feature over here, let's do that over there. Let's try new things. Let's try new ways of implementing it. Maybe ours will be better. That's how we get better stuff overall. On the other hand, I don't know about you guys, but I find myself less and less wanting to have a conversation in public with the entire world at once. I prefer threads that are on Reddit, that are more limited, or even group chats.
I was about to say that. Like, I don't know. It's maybe because I'm an old guy now, officially an old guy. But I just not interested in having those conversations that I did back, 10, 15 years ago.
I don't think it's you being old. I think it's, it was fun when it was limited.
Yes.
And now that it's the entire world at once, it becomes less fun really fast.
I feel like being like, oh, I'm aging out of social networks is maybe one take. But I think a lot of young people on social networks are like, no, that's, we want to engage with people who are like-minded to us. And that, there are good and bad things about that as well, depending on what you're talking about. But I actually, it was funny last night because I was watching a lot of basketball, go Golden State. But there were, it was enough of like sports happening that I was like, let's see what sports Twitter has to say. I still call it that, even though it's X now. And, I can sort of, be like, I'm looking for certain keywords and seeing, what tweets are coming through, that type of thing. Like, what I think Threads is doing is exactly what I was doing last night, just making it a little bit easier out of the box. Saying, okay, well, if Sarah likes basketball, then she can, find other people that also care about basketball and be able to follow those sorts of threads rather than just being like, oh, something happened. Let me see what's going on X.
I think that's part of it. I like to have conversations around podcasting specifically on Threads. So if I could pick podcasting or content creation as a category, and then I get I start getting stuff that's in my feed that is about those things very specifically, that is a benefit to me and probably keeps me on the platform longer as compared to I jump on, I see a couple things about podcasting, and then I see stuff about basketball, which I don't mind so much. And then I see stuff about politics, and then I'm out. So it kind of, for me, it kind of allows me to just say, here's the conversation that I'm looking for. Give me more of these things that I'm telling you I like. And that probably keeps me on the platform long.
I still think I'm going to push this a little more, that the problem with these platforms is that they are wide open. They only work as well when you don't get a lot of attention, but they always have the opportunity that something's going to go in front of large amounts of people. And suddenly it's not even just that you get malicious people or you get bots. It's that you get people who aren't part of your community or your conversation, just flying in and saying things that are irrelevant or repeating things that you've already addressed. And if you have not a closed community, but a more focused community, again, I keep going back to Reddit as an example of that, but it's not the only one, then you tend to have better conversations. You still can meet people you wouldn't meet otherwise, and you can still have interesting back and forths about whatever the topic is. On the other hand, when it's a live event, it is more fun to just see the wide open thing. So I don't know how to square that circle.
Well, it's a sliding scale. It's not one or the other. It really depends contextually, right? If you're in a pub or in a bar or in a coffee shop, you can have more focused but more intimate conversations. But if you're standing waiting for the subway and someone's belly aching about how the train's always late, it's like, yeah, you're right, and people can grouse about it together. I mean, there's a different feel, but you wouldn't necessarily talk to them about financial problems or hey, I just, my 401k tanked. What do I do with some stranger? But that stranger, you'll happily complain about the weather or complain about transit.
Because when you're in the pub, you're a community. When you're on the platform, you're strangers.
But you're of a community that is a little more nebulous. But also, everything you talk about is pretty low stakes, right? Whether or not,
but that's not what happens on Threads or Blue Sky. It becomes very high stakes. It's
and that's part of the human nature, I think. I mean, it's like you can't feed everyone breakfast, cornflakes for breakfast for the rest of their lives. There has to be some sort of variety to these platforms, and I think. Yeah, at some point, what I wouldn't like is all these platforms begin to look exactly the same. It's not that they offer the same.
Right now, they do look really similar. Yeah. They act similarly to X is what they do. Even though there's there's a little flourish here or there, but it is we're in an era, and maybe this is sort of like a holding pattern era of. Hey, old school Twitter was so fun. It doesn't exist anymore. I mean, you can still have fun on X, but it is a different platform. You have lots of other options now. Lots of people have flocked to those other options. And how do we recreate this? And I don't think you can. Because it used to be just it was the one place. Now you've got 5, 6, 7 places. You just kind of have to find your community.
I think we don't want to recreate it.
No.
I don't really.
I think more and more people are moving to group chats because of that. and just saying, you know what, I'm going to be on my WhatsApp or maybe in an Instagram group chat or just an SMS group chat, RCS group chat. But people are getting tired of, you say something rather innocuous and then 1,000 people, if you happen to go viral, descend upon you to annoy the crap out of you and talk about
and then half
stuff.
the time you're like, is this a bot? I don't know. Is
Yeah,
this
right.
a real person?
Yeah.
Like, are you actually mad at me, or is it, like all that stuff is like very tedious. Well, okay, Rob, speaking of tedious, I've been wanting new Siri features for some time. So let's talk about why I might have to wait a little bit longer.
So in a statement published by the blog Daring Fireball, Apple acknowledged that the more personalized new Siri features announced at Mobile World Congress last year have taken longer than expected and now anticipates their release in the coming year, like as in 2026. Sources, however, within Apple are saying that Apple Intelligence Unit, the folks that are working there, are saying that it may not even be 2026. It could be as far as 2027 with iOS 20. So the question for me is that, Siri is trying to make this comeback, but if you have to realistically wait a year, maybe even 2 years before it's on par with Gemini, we have talked a lot about Gemini not being on par with ChatGPT, but it is way better than where Apple Intelligence and where Siri is, and it is catching up to ChatGPT. But then Amazon just last week, they came out with Alexa Plus. And it is actually quite good. Siri is different from Amazon Plus. It is different than Gemini. So my question is that if this is supposed to be the thing for Apple, Apple is really trying to push into Apple Intelligence, but it's still a year, maybe 2 years out. Are they doing the right things? Can Apple afford to be that far behind? I know that the way that Apple does things is that they will, wait and see how the market's moving, and then they will come and put their Apple polish on a product. I'm questioning. This is a question, for the group. Can Apple do that with artificial intelligence? Can they actually be this far behind and then come out and do the Apple thing 2 years from now and everything be great?
I mean, let's hope. I mean, if you're an Apple fan, let's hope. This does feel very like, are you serious? Because the whole, as Apple Intelligence rolls out at the end of last year, 2024, but there's going to be other really cool things happening in 2025. That was a promise for a lot of people who bought the new iPhone, for example, the iPhone 16, and so there's that whole conversation. But for everything that happens in a variety of Apple products, of which I have many, the company's saying, we're not quite there yet. Maybe next year, maybe 2027. That does feel like there was a fumble on this ball somewhere. I hope that, the new Siri turns out to be really, really great. But this feels like you are just getting buried, because who is even going to care about this in a couple years from now? You're going to have so many other competitors.
I don't think it matters at all to Apple, honestly. I think on one hand, you hear people talking about how irrelevant AI is, how they don't trust it, they don't want it, it doesn't work well, it hallucinates and lies. And then you'll see some of those same people say, oh, Apple is going to be killed because they don't have it. It's like, well, maybe it's a good thing that they don't have it. Frankly, I think everything y'all are saying is true as far as if you look at the market of is Apple Intelligence competing with ChatGPT, Gemini, etc. You're absolutely right. It is true. I don't think that's what they're doing. I think what Apple is trying to do is make sure that they have things that work for people. And Apple Intelligence has not been terribly impressive so far. So it's good if they're like, this isn't ready yet, let's not push it out. Wait till it is. And I don't see a lot of people saying, you know what, I decided to switch to Android from iPhone simply because Apple Intelligence wasn't there yet. I could change that. I will change that when I see a feature coming to Samsung Galaxy or the Pixel or Motorola that has everyone going, oh, wow, it does that. There are lots of features that you could say, well, you should be that way about the fact that it can answer a phone call for you and screen your call, or you should be that way because it can do this. I don't see people saying that yet. When they start saying that, then Apple's behind. I don't think they're behind right now.
And I would add, unlike the other providers, I mean, Apple sells a great deal of hardware, so they aren't going to be hurting financially from this. And I think if they did release something that was imperfect or not what people considered to be up to Apple standards, that would hurt them more than not having anything. Like having a poor showing, having a broken product, and then people just being incredibly frustrated or just like, well, what's the point? Why am I even on this platform? That's the worst thing for them to have than not to have that at all. Because then you could still say, yeah, you can have iPhone, but you could still run ChatGPT. You can run all the other services off our phone. You know, it's an iPhone. It's great. You know, and I think it's not a core competency that defines Apple, although I'm sure they would like for it to define Apple in the future.
They do some really amazing on-device stuff. If you follow the academic publications that they've made, but they're not a leader in the cloud stuff. They've never been good at cloud stuff.
Short of Google turning Gemini into Jarvis from Iron Man, I don't think that a happy iPhone user will switch over to an Android device because Apple Intelligence isn't banging right now. What I wonder, however, is that will Apple Intelligence become Safari for Apple? Safari does quite well. A lot of people use Safari. It's not Chrome. It's not any of these other browsers. But Safari does its thing and it's chugging along, and Apple probably has no plans on doing anything with it, even though it is not the primary browser that most iPhone users use. So I'm wondering, could that kind of be the case for artificial intelligence, or for Apple Intelligence, for Siri in this case, to where Siri's great, and I'll use it if it's better than ChatGPT or if it's better than these other things that I'm already using. But it doesn't matter. I'm not leaving the iPhone because Siri may not be that great. So I think, Tom, that there's a lot of that there. I don't think that they're going to lose people because of this. I just wonder if by the time it actually does come out, will it be something that will compete with a Gemini, compete with a ChatGPT, or as you said, maybe they won't actually even try to do that. That's not what they're looking at.
I'm wondering if it's going to be more like the search engine where most people just default like whatever is working on the phone at the time works. People aren't going to necessarily have. When I say people, I mean the broad customer base. Are going to have a customer particular. It has to be ChatGPT. Has to be Gemini. It has to be Anthropic's Claude. It has to be this. They just wanted to do what the AI promise is, which is, hey, can you put together my grocery list for the week so when I go to the store, I'm picking up the right stuff?
Safari is the most popular browser on iPhone, by the way. I double checked. But that's with 23.8%. So you're not wrong.
Also, like that, that's for people who didn't say, no, I would like to go into my settings and make Chrome my default browser on iOS.
Roger, to piggyback on the point you actually made about, could they be treating this like they do browsers? Could they be treating this like they do search engines? I wonder what Apple's thought is, because it seems to me like if Apple could say, you know what, let's just let ChatGPT or let's let OpenAI give us a lot of money every year and make them the default. I think they wouldn't mind doing that. If Google wants to give us a boatload of money every year, let's let them be the default. But they are having those issues now to where there are, Google's going through these antitrust things, and the courts are saying, no, Apple, you can't just give them a ton of money to make your thing be the default or make their thing to be the default on your device. I wonder if that could also be the case with these other things here.
We got another. Who's playing? Who's jamming out there?
I would say.
We got another 5 years before the actual default search engine thing gets resolved. So I'm not sure how fast that's gonna matter.
The one wrinkle though is that Apple prides itself. It literally sells its entire hardware ecosystem on privacy. So if they do that, they need to ensure that whole privacy system.
Well, they're doing it already. I mean, you can choose ChatGPT, so we're seeing how they're going to handle that. That exists.
But so if they were to do something,
was that you? Okay.
Yeah, I get an emergency call. And I don't know how to turn that off.
Going to the club. It's all right.
I hope we don't get a take.
I was just saying, like, yeah, if they do decide to do like the, hey, you want to give us a boatload of money, there's just they just want to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed when it comes to making sure
I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for security.
Well, folks, if you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, please show us on the social networks. We want to see it. We are at DTNS Show on X, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Mastodon. That is at DTNS Show. You can also find us on TikTok and YouTube at Daily Tech News Show.
So, Tom, there's a theory that red and blue LED lights can kill bacteria that cause acne. And a study came out that put that to the test.
Yes, the theory is that the light kills the Cutibacterium acnes bacteria, also could reduce inflammation. A study looked at whether that was true or not. This is my favorite kind of science. The science that goes, I don't know, let's find out. It was published in the journal JAMA Dermatol. They conducted clinical trials on 216 participants with mild to moderate acne and found, indeed, it works. There was a 45.3% reduction in acne with the greatest improvement after 4 to 12 weeks. Now, medications still work better than that. 45.3% is good. It shows an effect. It's not the best you can get. But what the authors of the study pointed out was a lot of people don't tolerate the medication well, or they don't like the side effects, or they just don't want to take medicines for whatever, and they want a different way of doing something.
Well, and if it's topical,
yeah,
your face
exactly,
feels,
or might cause diarrhea, upset stomach. Yeah, exactly. So this is a legitimate thing. If you haven't seen it, I've got my wife's here. She has a blue LED. Red LEDs get all the press, but my wife likes to be a little different. She's got the blue LED thing, and you run it over your skin. It's even got a little timer. It'll tell you, how long to do it. I'm doing it entirely wrong, by the way, but it's a handheld thing she uses.
I am. I know a lot of dermatologists. I have never heard of this. This is really cool.
Also headsets, like things that you can wear. You put on your head, and it'll shine the light on your entire skin at once. NASA actually pioneered this. They were experimenting with red light therapy for plant growth, and then found it helped astronauts' wounds heal faster. There's also a theory that it could stimulate collagen production. I would love to see that study, find out does it actually do that as well? Plumping up your skin. But so you haven't run into this, Sarah?
No, never once. However, I am weirdly enough after the show going to the dermatologist to do a little laser, a little this and that.
Different kind of red light,
which is it's definitely not this. It's something much more expensive to help my collagen, because I'm not 29 anymore. Sorry, spoiler, I'm not. So this is really interesting to me. If there could be, let's say, and we were kind of joking about this before the show, but if there could be anything in both of these light categories that I could have at my desk and somehow, either stimulate collagen or, help with, my breakouts, which do happen, here and there, that would be rad as heck.
Good news. You can.
All right, let's hear it.
There's this that you can have. There's the wearable ones. They're a little more expensive.
But just something that's right in front of me where I'm just blast me.
Oh yeah, no, you could. There are things you can wear where you just put on it, and you could still see out of them, and you could be working and stuff. You might not want to be on the show.
I'm still thinking just blast me from the front. I don't want to
That's what the wearable.
The thing.
That's what the wearable things are. Is they're blasting you from the front.
Sarah's probably like me. I'm sitting here in front of 4 fairly large monitors. And I want to
make it work for me.
Yeah, just give me an
I
app
bet you
to where
could
I
do
can have
that.
my monitors just to radiate me with light. But here's the thing I was
You
thinking.
have LED monitors? Maybe go ahead.
Here's the thing I was thinking. This sounds like, until you are talking about it as this stuff actually works, like something that you would see in the Sky Mall, magazine in the back of the seat
100%.
pocket.
Back in the
SCNOT,
day.
yeah.
Image magazine.
Hammock or Schlemmer.
Yeah, exactly. Or a commercial that you see like on regular television, like terrestrial television at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And it's like that stuff never works, but it's weird. This stuff actually works.
Yeah.
So that is a pleasant surprise because
but
I know there are people who have poured tons of money into things that just simply don't work.
I guess my question is, how well does it work compared to like me? buying it?
45.3% reduction in acne is how well it works.
That ain't bad. That ain't bad.
It's and not everybody has this issue, but there are many people of all ages who do. It's you want to have nice clear
I would venture
skin.
to say everyone has the issue to some extent. Some people have it in a very low, goes away really fast kind of extent. Maybe they don't need this,
and it
but
depends on the conditions. Of,
a lot of people use this just because it's preventative, right? It could just make sure that nothing shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they can make it really cool if they made one of the masks that you could wear. If they actually made it look like an Iron Man mask, that would be kind of cool.
Some of
fly
them kind
around,
of do. Yeah,
talk
they
to
just
your
lean into
Jarvis
that.
Siri.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like some of them already look pretty
Maybe that's
Iron
why
Man.
Apple is
Pretty
holding off.
close.
They're going to wait
Yeah.
until this comes out and they can
Oh,
put Siri
you know
into it.
what? If they do the whole Daft Punk LED on the outside, then you can just have messages constantly scrolling across your little face mask, and you can make.
But then,
some,
how would you read them?
No, you don't. You sell it, right? So you make a little.
you
It's a
sell
little
them.
side hustle. You're giving yourself acne treatment while making a little coin on the side.
Good news, everyone. I did a quick search, and apologies to Joe for making you do that. But if you could share that, eBay has an actual Iron Man skincare mask for sale. This is another one that people should be wary of. Is like you shouldn't just buy the cheapest one of these on Temu,
Nice.
or even one on eBay unless you're very certain that the seller is good. Look into that yourself. We're not casting aspersions here, but make sure you buy one that's legit. Don't just get a cheap one because it might not work then.
I mean,
Of
the
course,
whole
that
sort of
actually exists. Of course, that
the
exists.
whole
If you can imagine it,
I
it
look
exists.
like I don't know, whatever, some Marvel character while I'm like trying to get rid of my acne is like that's fun. But
What else
if
could
no
you-
one else
yeah.
is in the room, like why
Phantom of the Opera.
do we care? Phantom of the Opera, yeah.
Oh, something like you mean something to amuse yourself while you have it on.
Yeah, this is to amuse yourself or your loved ones around you.
But I mean, unless you're looking straight into a mirror.
Well, maybe
amuse
the
maybe
you
you
joy
had
is
like
in
a-
picking it up to put it on, right? And you're like, I'm gonna be Iron Man.
Okay,
You
It's like
guys
wearing
remember
any
years
mask.
ago,
We
there
all
was
wanna
that
be
woman that-
superheroes.
Or
I
you
get
could
it.
get like a vocoder or something so you could sound like Darth Vader while you're wearing it. And, like
Oh,
do
Darth
that.
Vader
Totally.
mask.
Sound like a
Oh,
Wookiee. I was thinking
now
of
that's
that.
fun. Yeah.
I was thinking of that woman from a few years ago who was wearing a Wookiee mask, and
yeah.
it would make like the sound of a Wookiee, and she was just absolutely enjoying it, and went viral on the internet. Something like that would be cool. Like if it can actually really help with acne, and you can have fun with it, I think a lot of people
Yeah.
would be down with it.
Well, especially if you're a teenager, is when you need this a lot.
Really,
Larry in
yeah.
Atlanta suggests luchador masks would be a good one.
I mean, those are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know.
I bet if I looked, that exists. I'm not going to doubt it.
I love the and again, we're talking about potential stuff, but it's like I'm like, oh, I'll just like put like all this like
Ointment.
ointment right on my face, and it's like or you could do a lucha libre mask
See?
and have a lot more fun, for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe the ointment is more than 45.3% reduction, but is it as fun?
I don't think so.
I would try this. I wouldn't say I suffer from acne, but I do have it.
Yeah,
And-
it's pretty normal for people. to get.
and I'll put the acne cream on, and the only problem that I have is that like it has bleach in it. So like if you put the acne cream on, then you go lay on your pillow, you've got these bleach marks on your pillow. So
Yeah.
it's just like a hassle.
Story
So-
of my life.
Give me the Iron Man mask. I'm with it.
Total side note: why does bleach turn things orange? Have you ever had that where you like a shirt or a towel?
Orange. I mean, they
Yeah.
turn things white.
Is it probably just
don't know about the
taking the
orange
color
thing.
that's already there? And
I think it's like the
spraying it around
natural
a little
color
bit?
of the material, but I would
Yeah.
think it would turn everything white, but it doesn't. Sometimes it turns things orange.
I think it's just depending on what
Did not know
the
that.
coloring agent
Feedback
is.
at dailytechnewsshow.com. Let us know.
Hydrogen peroxide experts, please weigh in. All right, so it is Friday, and we like to do quizzes on Friday. And Roger's been doing a quiz as he has for quite some time. Roger, what are we doing this week?
So this past week was Mobile World Congress, and I thought it'd be kind of fun because it is a place where new phones are introduced and concept phones are showcased to the public. It'd be kind of fun to kind of do sort of a telephonic quiz. That's telephonic quiz based on telephone icons from pop culture. So I will show you a picture of said telephone, and the questions will be around that object, and I'll ask you a related question for it, and if you get it, you get it. If not, you'll learn something.
Okay. I like it.
So
Into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
let's begin.
Do it.
Laminar
Number
Rainbow
one.
liked it so much he gave us a super sticker.
Oh, nice.
Get out of here.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Thank you, Laminar
See, now I'm
Rainbow.
under pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you better make this quiz good, Roger.
You better make it worth $4.99 for that sticker.
Better do it.
go.
Number
Let's go.
one,
Or it's
if we bring up the
curtains.
first picture, Joe, on what Saturday morning kids show was this flamboyant phone booth a staple?
Oh, is this
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
yeah. That's
Playhouse? Playhouse?
that's what I was gonna say. Pee-wee's
Yeah.
Playhouse.
Yes, Pee-wee's Playhouse. This was, what was the name? This
Phony.
was,
Pee-wee.
Picture Phony.
Phone.
From Pee-wee's Playhouse, and they actually built an entire elaborate TV set inside, or mounted the TV set inside, so they could do the two-way thing. But
He was using a can too. Like
Do you
that.
guys remember what the genie on
I do.
Pee-wee's Playhouse?
I do.
Mecca like a high, mecca high.
Zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Okay. So we're of the same age. That
Lawrence
was,
Fishburne is the first thing I remember him from.
yes,
was the funnest show.
And Phil
ever.
Hartman
Pee-wee.
too. Phil Hartman.
you know what Cowboys with big. I remember that line so funny.
Roger, you can't laugh before you say the end of the sentence.
All right, I'm sorry. So, what do you call? What was? I see. I don't even remember. It's like, what is it? Or cowboys with big feet, or what do you call cowboys with big feet,
What do you call them?
or something? Oh, something about that they have big cowboy
forgot.
boots. I don't remember. I just remember it being funny, and even though I don't remember
No.
it word for word, I still laugh at it in my
I
head.
will.
So-
I will tell you. I mean, every Saturday morning, I was like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And
So
my
Phil
mom was
Hartman-
like, "It's also fun," so we would watch it together. It was
Phil
like
Hartman
a fun
played
Saturday morning
Cap-
thing.
Phil Hartman played Captain Coral, and I do remember this thing that he said. He says a sailor travels to many lands, anywhere he pleases, and he always remembers to wash his hands so he don't get no diseases.
So true.
It's one to grow on.
And it rhymes.
Gone too soon, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman.
Troy
Indeed.
McClure, in my mind,
Indeed.
always the best. All right, question
All right.
number 2. If we get the image up, this if Joe can pull up the image of, yep. This was the primary method Commissioner Gordon contacted Batman in the Campy 60s show of the same name.
Len, I know.
What was the name of the phone?
The bat phone.
The bat phone.
That phone.
Bonus point. When the,
Guess we got it right.
No, you got it right. It is the bat phone.
Not a lot
but
of
in the
positive
real world,
feedback on
bonus
it, but
point.
okay.
What has the name bat phone become synonymous with?
For
Emergency
phoning
phones.
people.
Yeah. A high priority direct
Yeah.
line to an
Yeah.
important person or
Yes.
government official. In fact, I remember back at Tech TV, I don't remember, Sarah, but in the control room, they would always say, get on the bat phone and call back Master Control. You never had that? They never said that? Like, I remember we
I
used
wasn't
it like
in the control room as much as you were probably, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
But there was a phone, and everyone referred to it as the bat phone because it was the one phone that went directly to
Same
Master
bat
Control.
time, same bat channel.
Hey, yes, Master Control, we need you to do something very different.
Yes, we need you to bleep this out because you can't say it.
Right?
on
Yeah,
public.
yeah. 5-second rule. Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Number 3, the shoe phone was a regular prop on the Get Smart show starring
yeah.
Don Adams. He plays Maxwell or Max Smart, a secret agent in the show. What was his agent number?
Oh,
Agent 86.
I don't know that.
86.
99 was the
girl.
woman
Yeah.
that he worked with. Yeah.
He ultimately married,
86?
I think. But yeah, 86.
Rob got it.
Not much.
Yeah, 86 sounds right.
I loved
86.
watching this show. I remember coming home from school and
Yeah.
watching the reruns.
Great
They
show.
were like 4:00. I loved this show. I loved it. Seen every episode.
I was going to do the cone of I was going to do the cone of silence.
the
which
cone
is-
of silence was a good
Because
one.
there's another thing that we used to say in the office all the time. Instead of saying like between you and me, I would have my producer come up to me and say, "All right, Roger, cone of silence," and then anything she told me was just between us. Cone of silence.
See, I don't like. I know the term "cone of silence." Did that come from this show?
Yeah.
From Maxwell Smart.
It was
I
like
didn't
oh,
know
that's
that.
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't know that
Cone of
because I'm
silence.
much younger than the.
Of, oh yeah,
Yes.
no,
I mean-
you were
didn't
way
watch
too young
after
to have
school.
yes,
Come on.
enjoyed
just
Get
a
Smart.
young millennial such as
You know.
yourself, Sarah, is truly would
Just going to
Hello,
Burger King
fellow
and,
kids.
you know,
I think
living
she's
my life.
maybe MZ. You know, like
Yeah.
she's on the board.
Well, you know, what's interesting is that Don Adams also did the voice of Inspector Gadget for a little bit, another private.
Oh,
Special
and
agent.
Tennessee Tuxedo.
Yeah,
Oh.
that too.
Hello, Chumley. Yeah.
Oh, that was excellent.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was really good.
Hey, Len, you have another career. You could
You're very
do
good at
voiceovers.
this, Len.
You
I
could
could be a
Don
voiceover
Adams.
talent. Yeah. Take over for Don Adams if he'd let me.
He's the new Don Adams, ladies and gentlemen. Len Peralta,
Hey,
Agent 99. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
99.
You know what was her name in the show? Besides Agent 99.
Oh.
99.
I think she was
They
just
never
99.
said. They never said.
Yeah, I think it was just 99.
No, she had a name. I cannot
I think
remember.
the actress name I know,
Barbara?
but, like
Was Barbara Felden was that
was her, but the actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that wasn't her. That wasn't the in show.
I don't think they
name
ever
for her.
called her by her real name.
Her name was never revealed. Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
99.
I don't think so.
Oh. Even they spoiler, Maxwell Smart and Agent 99 get married.
Right.
Apparently,
I
he
wanna
still called
say
her
in that
99.
episode. I want to say in that episode that her name was said, like the one and only time, but I can't remember.
Did
Yeah.
you ever?
It's a Mandela effect because I thought so too, but apparently
Did you
not.
know there was a movie in the 80s,
Yeah.
a Get Smart movie?
There was a
called-
TV
Oh, yeah.
movie,
I'd
and then
forgotten
they
about
did
that.
a movie in the 2000s with what's his name from The Office.
oh right,
Steve Carell. Yeah.
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 Yeah, but the movie in the 80s with Don
Don Adams and
was
Barbara
the
Felton.
nude bomb.
the nude bomb?
Oh,
yeah.
who was? Do you know who the villain was?
Oh, I don't. I saw that in
It's
theaters.
the guy who used to hawk Chrysler and the Corinthian leather.
Oh,
Ricardo
was it
Mon-
Ricardo
Montalban.
Montalban?
Yeah,
It was.
he had
on.
pantyhose over his face, so you couldn't
Okay.
tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not winning this
His
day.
nose all pushed up. Yeah.
We are such dinosaurs. All right, question number 4. Here's something else from my childhood. In the TV show Charlie's Angels, the 3 private investigators and their handler, Bosley, were always seen talking to their boss, Charlie, through a speakerphone box. What was the name of the detective agency that they worked for? Bonus points for the actor who was the last cast change on the TV show.
I know the actor
Oh,
is
man.
probably
on the
John-
old original TV show.
Yeah,
'Cause there
from
was
the original
another
TV
one
show.
later.
We're
and there
not
were
talking about
next
the movie. We're
movies
talking
and-
about
Not the movies,
yeah.
not the
Yeah.
movies.
You asking who they worked for?
Yeah, what was the name of the? What was the
The
official name of the
detective agency.
agency?
Wasn't
that
it?
they-
Wasn't it just Charlie's detective agency?
No.
I'll take the
Missed
actor
it
part.
by that much.
The actor part was the actor John Forsythe?
Yes, that was indeed the actor. But
Who
that
was the
wasn't-
last
But
cast
what
change?
was
Yeah.
the name?
John
of
Forsythe
the
was
detective
Charlie.
agency?
Yes. He was the
I could have
voice of
sworn it was
Charlie.
Charlie's detective agency.
So it was Charles Townsend Agency.
Oh,
Because
Charles
he's-
Townsend was the
Townsend.
name of the
Townsend.
detective
Him.
agency. It was
And
Charlie's
then-
detective agency, but that's not officially what the name
Yeah.
was.
The
I see.
Charles
Private
Townsend.
investigators. Yeah.
And then bonus question, the answer was Tanya Roberts. She was the last cast change. that they did
Oh,
on the show.
I thought you
Oh,
were
I
saying
thought
John
you meant-
Forsythe was the
okay.
last
Oh
cast
no!
change. I'm like,
no!
I don't think that's
No,
right.
so Len brought that up and said, "Yeah,
Indeed.
he was the voice
Yeah,
of Charlie."
Yeah,
Very,
okay.
very
Sorry, I
not
misunderstood.
not well received.
Tanya Roberts. She was she was in a movie with Mark Singer called the Beastmaster. Do you guys remember that movie?
She was in the
my
Beast. She
God,
was
yeah.
also in Sheena, which was
Sheena, Queen of the Jungle.
I
yeah. They
remember
painted a
when,
horse like a zebra. That's what I
when
remember.
Cheryl
from it.
Ladd replaced Kate Jackson. I was despondent. Kate Jackson was my favorite, but thankfully she went on to Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Tanya Roberts. Put that picture back up. What a looker. She's beautiful.
C-SPAN gave us a super sticker in honor of Tanya Roberts.
I mean,
Go.
yes.
Thank you, C-SPAN.
She's
Beautiful.
She's quite lovely.
I mean, that doesn't look like a untouched photo either. I'm not saying she wasn't beautiful in real life.
Well,
They
she
didn't
was-
have AI back then, Tom. What are you talking?
He was a
That was
real-
all
Well,
airbrush.
somebody I think might have done that.
Believe me,
you
the
know,
the
with-
techniques
with
for
their-
altering appearance on a photograph have been around for as long as photos have been.
I wonder what Mr. Roberts is doing
It's
today.
like-
Well,
It's
we
like-
brought that off the internet, so who
Remember
knows when it was.
Vogue
altered.
magazine, just like everyone was like that beautiful, no touch-ups. We've been doing that for some time.
She probably used that acne thing, the red blue light.
Yeah.
Maybe she did.
Well,
She probably did.
I'm sure they used a lot of different things that that would probably be beyond my ability. to
Beautiful,
comprehend.
beautiful woman, Tanya Roberts. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
All right, what's
On
next?
that, all right. The question number
How's Nora,
5.
Len? No.
The hamburger phone was used by Elliot Page's character in this indie movie.
Oh, Juno.
Yeah.
Yes.
Juno.
Juno.
Sarah gets it.
Good
When
one.
she was talking on the hamburger phone. Hold on. And she had to shake it because it wasn't working.
I have a story about this too.
I mean, hamburger phones are used in other things too. But
when I was in college, I had a phone.
How many places are they
Bob's
used?
Burgers uses the
Okay,
hamburger phone.
all right.
My phone in college was a Coke bottle. So it
Really?
was shaped like a Coke bottle, and you talked into
That-
it.
Oh, I thought you strung
That
like
wasn't a real
line
phone,
between
Len.
it to the
That your
one
parents
next
just
to
couldn't
you.
afford a
No, it was
phone, so they gave you
that
the
was
Coke
shaped
bottle.
like a Coke bottle. And the hardest part about that is that, like, I'd put it on the floor, and then I'd accidentally kick it over, and then no one would be able to call me for days.
This was in college?
This is in college, yes.
Yeah.
In high school, do you guys remember the toy? It was a red toy. It was called a Merlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
When I was in high school, in one of our projects for I guess it would have been physics or physical science class, we actually took all the parts of the Merlin out and replaced it with actual phone parts. So we had a working Merlin that was a phone that
That's
you could
great.
answer.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it was-
everybody who ever had a Merlin, it was this red thing that kind of was shaped
was
like
like
a
a
phone
Before the
handset.
NES, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what made you the coolest kid in the school.
That was- hit the ball.
Yeah, you played
My
games.
sister had
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. The Merlin.
Look at that, had
everybody
red
that.
dots that blinked, and you could play tic-tac-toe.
You could play
You could
tic-tac-toe, you could play
Simon.
hidden
Yeah.
dot, you could play pattern matching,
All
kind
the
of
cool
Simon.
kids had the Merlin.
All
Yeah.
the cool dot games.
My
that
sister
you
was
could
the
think
cool
of.
kid in the family. Not gonna lie.
Merlin is great. Yeah, everybody wanted that.
And then the NES, and then was come over to my house to play, Duck Hunt or something.
Yeah, my brother had a NES.
I'm sorry, Tom. All right,
I got the TI 99
Number
4A.
6.
Damn it, I'm not sorry.
Roger.
number six.
Not bitter.
The
Not
Fit
Tom,
phone.
We don't want Tom to cry. Okay.
The Fit phone was used by Decker to call this replicant in a CD bar in the movie Blade Runner.
Oh, the one with the hairspray hair.
Roy?
What was her name?
I forget her name. She's played by Daryl Hannah.
What? No.
Was it
Ah,
was her name Raquel?
No.
Rachel?
Yes.
Rachel.
Something with an R.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
a
I'm
big
Rachel.
phone.
Rachel. It
It's
is
a big
Rachel.
phone.
More human than human
Yes.
from the Tyrell Corporation.
This is
wow.
this was in the scene where Decker was feeling low. He's in the CD bar and he calls her up on the.
Oh, and he
That-
calls
that's
Rachel. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not played by Daryl Hannah.
No,
Daryl
this
Hannah
is
played.
Sean Young.
Yeah, Sean Young, right?
Wait, was Daryl Hannah even in?
Yeah,
Blade
she
Runner?
was
Yes.
Pris.
She was Pris. Okay, I was that.
So,
That movie stands up. That movie was excellent.
It
Yeah.
did a lot. I mean, the only thing I
good
think,
movie.
the only thing I kind of bummed about is we don't have the umbrellas with the
The
neon.
lights.
Yeah.
right.
But everything
Yeah.
else came true.
I mean, the off-world colonies and the floating
Yeah.
zeppelins with the ads.
However,
And we
all
got
the-
a Nexus 6.
all the brands that are in Leon, a lot of those brands went belly up. So like there was.
Oh yeah, the Pan American
Mhm.
is in
All those-
there.
And we didn't get
Atari is in there.
and we also didn't get like the Great Pyramid in the middle of LA spewing
Yet.
Oh,
yet.
that would be
All right, everybody.
All right.
We all have to think about what our answers are.
Edward James Olmos.
Number 7. All right, this should be fun. In the movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, a futuristic phone booth is the main conveyance through time. Who is the second group of people Bill and Ted run into that exit from the phone booth after meeting Rufus?
It's
No
Bill and
clue.
Ted.
Sarah gets it.
Nice.
They meet themselves.
Yeah, it's Bill and Ted. I mean, come on. We all know this.
what a great film.
69 dudes.
Keanu Reeves.
All right.
Yes.
The
Real
role
quick.
that made him famous.
What is the convenience store that they're sitting outside of when
The
that
Circle
scene happens?
K.
Len gets it.
Okay.
Something
What
to put at the
currently-
Circle K.
What currently releasing television show was Keanu Reeves uncredited in season 2, episode 1 of?
Oh my God, I don't know. What?
Severance.
Was he?
He was in
Not
Severance.
that.
He's the
Season 2.
voice of the company video. They played them. Lumen is
Oh,
listening.
Wow.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't know that.
Interesting because, well, okay. Yes.
You know what's interesting is that they're bringing all these characters, like these character actors, back. Did you know in season this
Did you just
season-
call Keanu Reeves a character actor?
Well, no. I'm saying that there's this one doctor who's in. This is not a spoiler.
George
he's-
Clooney. Yeah, I've heard of him.
No, it's Robbie Benson. You remember Robbie Benson?
I remember the name.
Yeah, I could not.
But not
believe
from the
it.
TV show Benson.
No,
No.
Robbie Benson, and then Sandra
That's-
Bernhard also on that show. Crazy.
All right. Question Ocho. In the movie The
Okay.
Matrix, the protagonist Neo is given a Nokia cell phone to receive a call from Morpheus. What is the in-universe full name of Neo when he's in The Matrix?
Thomas A. Anderson.
And
Rob gets it.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
I did not
Anderson.
remember
My
that.
days.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr.
Yeah.
Anderson.
Oh yeah, no, now I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the elf shows up and tries to get him.
Is that-
I could hear the elves breathing.
Number 9.
Arendelle, yeah.
In the movie 2001 Space Odyssey, who answers Haywood Floyd's video phone call when he calls home from the space station?
Oh man.
Who
Who
receives
answers?
the call?
His wife.
His son?
Close.
So
His
neither
daughter?
of those.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Len, his daughter.
His daughter. Hi, Daddy.
Side factoid: this daughter was portrayed by Kubrick's daughter.
Okay, I was gonna say she's probably
Oh,
somebody.
nice.
Yes, I was gonna say she was Keanu Reeves, but that was probably not.
That was probably
Character
before his
actor,
time. Yeah,
Keanu
character
Reeves.
actor, Keanu Reeves. All right, last question.
Robbie
Number 10. I think everyone will get this immediately. Where was the loneliest phone booth in America located prior to its removal by Pac Bell at the request of the National Park Service?
Marfa.
Marfa?
Marfa.
I mean,
The
if
Marfa
it's
Lights.
wrong,
I know
tell
about
me
the
I'm
Marfa
wrong.
Lights. That's in West Texas.
I have no clue.
That is wrong.
It was in.
I like how Roger was like, everybody's going to get this one. And we're all like,
No idea.
We covered it on screensavers. That's
I mean,
Oh
come
my
on.
gosh.
That's
I'm sorry.
Santa Fe,
400
New
years ago.
Mexico.
That was 1,000 years ago.
That you're moving into the right direction. Len, from
in New
Texas.
Mexico?
No. Oh, from if you look at where Texas is, that direction that New Mexico. is.
Arizona?
So
Arizona.
Well,
No.
you're same
Nevada?
direction.
Las
California?
Vegas, Nevada.
It's in California. It is
California.
Indio?
Death Valley.
Simi
Clo-
Valley.
very close. Very close. There,
Simi
it's,
Valley.
it's a
Joshua
desert.
Tree?
It's a desert. In there,
Palm
Death
Desert.
Valley.
Death Valley.
Starts with an M.
Palm.
Mojave Desert.
Palm
Yes,
starts with
Rob got
Mojave
it.
Desert.
Mojave Desert.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
See? We all
It's
knew
so
it.
easy. Everyone got it.
Why did they
Yeah.
want to? Why did they want to remove it? What's the deal?
Because the people were just showing up there and people were calling it, and it was just sort of an annoyance.
So that's what it's
I
there
don't
for.
think they were calling it. They were
Yeah, no,
calling
people were
other
calling to
people
see who would pick up.
using It.
Oh,
They
I
would
see.
call it to see if anyone was there
Yeah,
because it was the loneliest booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Are
the
you
thing.
lonely?
It was
Are
a
you?
thing for a lot of people until the 2000s when the
Probably
Yeah, you know,
so.
before the internet.
It was probably someone very thirsty would answer if it's in the Mojave Desert.
Oh, you said removal by Pacific Bell. We should have all known it was California. Duh.
I know. I got it wrong.
I
That's
how
totally,
you
I
go.
totally missed the
Know
clue
that,
in the
Lots of-
question.
Yeah.
our pop culture is filled with fun, iconic phones.
Do
love-
you know who Ben Stiller originally wanted to do the voiceover of the Lumen is Listening video before he got Keanu Reeves to do it?
Mike Myers,
No. Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
I heard.
Really,
this.
he didn't have anything else.
I
to do.
heard this. I heard this. And Barack Obama was like, "I'm sorry, this is
Big
a great
fan.
show, but I'm a little bit too busy."
Well,
Yeah. Doing
think-
what?
I think that Barack's voice
Just
would
being,
have
you
been
know,
too
a
recognizable.
president.
He wanted a Ben Stiller says he wanted a recognizable voice that was like kind
Robbie
of.
Benson. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. He should have gone with Robbie Benson.
Should have gone. Should
John
have
Turturro
gone.
should have done his impression of Don Adams.
John Turturro.
I mean, John Turturro. Of
I'm
Who's
just trying to
he's
imagine
in
what that even
Severance.
sounds
Get
like.
it.
Severance, yeah.
At all.
They
Times.
should have gotten Don Adams. Hello, Lumen.
I think they should have got Robert Guillaume.
Robert Guillaume. He's dead.
Well, they could, so
So
there's a
Tanya
problem.
Roberts.
Doesn't matter. They could just use AI.
You can bring people
right?
back to life
Yeah.
now, Len.
Yep. Just
That's a
use
thing you can do.
They should have used Scott
You
Johnson.
use the blue and red LEDs, Len.
And a phone booth.
Oh,
So you could go back
I'm
in time.
sorry.
Yeah.
Don Adams is dead, says the chat. I'm sorry.
Well,
about
I'm not
Tanya
sorry that
Roberts?
you're here, Len. I'm very happy that you're here, and we should check in on what
Oh,
you've been
that's right.
illustrating before we get out of here.
Yeah. So, I was talking about the red, blue stuff. I thought immediately, and this is the way my mind works, is I thought immediately about 3D because it's like there's a 3D element to this.
Oh,
And
right,
so-
because like red blue glasses. that
Red,
you
blue
wear in, like,
glasses, and
old,
so
old
this
timey
is-
3D
this is-
movies.
yeah, this is this image. This is the way my mind works. Red, blue LEDs will bring acne to its feet. No, it says acne annihilation as opposed
To
to
its feet?
acne annihilation in 3D. So yeah, you got this guy wearing 3D glasses. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's okay, folks. It doesn't need to make a lot of sense when you're me. If you want to go, if you want to get this, go to my online store, lenperaltastore.com, or go to my Patreon, patreon.com/Len. You can get that immediately at you back at the DTNS lover level. And please, need all the love we can get over
Yeah.
there.
It will cure your acne, possibly, maybe. We don't
Yes, and this is the first
I
time
mean,
I've ever drawn acne for your
worth a
show.
try.
here as
know. Yeah.
well.
It can't
Never
hurt.
had to draw acne.
It hasn't been scientifically tested yet. So we can't say it won't.
Yeah.
Titles have been submitted during the show at dtns.showbot.tv. The top vote getter is from Clinton Woodward. You can't be Siri-ous.
Get it? Get it?
Yeah.
Like it.
Also with Zoe, the problem with platforms. GPEG84, light up those germs.
I like Larry in Atlanta's Put on the red light.
Roxanne.
I see what we were doing here.
Excellent.
JPEG 84's Jarvis of
Sarah, what did we go with?
We went with Clinton's "You Can't Be Serious."
You can't
Nice.
be serious.
There's just no way. You can't be
by
serious.
Do it again, Lynn. Do it again, Lynn.
You can't be serious.
Hey, that's good.
Missed it by that much.
I am very thankful that C-Spawn gave us a super sticker and Laminar Rainbow gave us a super sticker today in YouTube. I'm always happy that John is there in LinkedIn watching us.
Oh, nice.
And big thanks to everybody watching us on Twitch as well. Zoe Brings Bacon with some bits. Hockey Sticks us. Resubscribed for the 39th month. Stoic Squirrel back at tier 1 for the 67th month. Technomensch gave us a cheer. Frozen Fusion 365 cheered us with 45 bits. Thanks everybody for supporting us at Twitch, at YouTube, and on patreon.com/DTNS. Don't forget, new top 5s drop every Friday on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Daily Tech News Show. This week, I'm counting down the top 5 dangers of efficiency. Perhaps government efficiency. Again, you can find that top 5 at youtube.com/Daily Tech News Show.
Reminder, you can watch our show Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And as of next week, 2000 UTC. Check your calendars. Starting Monday. Yeah, you can watch and find out more at dailytechnewsshow.com/live. We hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Happy Spring Forward for those who celebrate. We'll be back on Monday with Justin Robert Young joining us.
This week's episodes of Daily Tech News Show Live were created by the following people. Producer and host Sarah Lane, host Tom Merritt, host Robb Dunewood, producer Roger Chang, video producer Joe Kuntz, producer at large Anthony Lemos, social media producer and moderator Zoe Detterding, our mods, Beatmaster, W. Scottus1, BioCow, Captain Kipper, Steve Guadarrama, Paul Reese, Matthew J. Stevens, aka Gadget Virtuoso, and J.D. Galloway. Mod and video hosting by Dan Christensen. Music provided by Martin Bell and Dan Luters. Art by Len Peralta. Acast ad support from Tatiana Matias. Patreon support from Tom McNeil. Contributors to this week's show included Allison Sheridan, Dan Campos, and Scott Johnson. Our guest this week was Tasia Custodi, and thanks to all the patrons who make the show possible.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.